Hi, welcome to Boards of Valor. I'm Elizabeth, and if you notice, I started using a candle to start my videos because I'm a little self-conscious of my millennial pause. Sometimes I stumble over words, as you will start to notice, and I don't have any editing skills, so this is just what you get. I thought I'd show my face since there have been some new clicks here, I guess, for my collection video. I mean, I really like watching them, so I guess people do too. I kind of batch filled all of my Oracle decks. And so my goal is to, I had like all these thoughts and now I can't get them out straight. My goal is to share a video every other week. And if I'm able to film one like this week, I will post that one, and if I'm not, you'll get the next edition of the card collection. And as of this moment, all of my Oracle decks are filled and filmed. Like, I fulfilled that section of my decks. And then there's tarot, and like I've been collecting these for a while, and I have a lot, and I don't really use them enough because I'm not an everyday tarot person. I never really was. And I, like, at best am like a weekly. And with doing monthly readings, which I do on Substack, I feel like I'm not touching them as much outside of that. But I want to like start. I feel like I can't talk today, so it is what it is. Adding them in a little bit more and like making sure I touch more, which is cool for me because then I can also look at the videos and be like, oh yes, that's the deck I have, because I do not have them out. They like have little homes in different places, and I have no object permanence apparently, and so I forget. I haven't bought a deck twice by accident. Like, I've bought like a different version on purpose, usually a smaller one because I love little things. But yeah, and so I just wanted to come in, say hi, show my face, and just like give you some random information about me. My name's Elizabeth, or Liz. I'm obsessed with tarot cards. I need to film a whole like how did I get started video. This is not going to be that. If you notice, I will like name drop a lot of other creators, and like somewhat fangirling, but mostly credit. I'm like very big on, this was not my idea. I got it from insert name, person, place, thing here. And that's just who I am as a person. I do it at like work. I do it anywhere. And I was once upon a time a teacher, and in that field, they say a lot like, why reinvent the wheel? You're so busy. There's so much on your mind. What is the point? And you know, we're just going to give credit where it's due. So I was a lurker and a watcher from afar a lot on YouTube, still am. I do it under a different account. But I'm trying to like do the tarot stuff here. So like if I comment, I'll comment from this account. But just cause I didn't have this name and like email set up when I first started, obviously. Anyway, I have like a little board that I'm reading from for all my ideas of what I wanted to mention that I thought you might care to know since you're new here, or if you were already here, I might have not addressed. I don't really remember. I have to like look at the videos I uploaded like a bajillion years ago, because I like tried to start this and life happened. Also, like that's why it's every other week and I have like the backlog of deck collection is I decided to prioritize saying like yes to things and like emphasizing like finding joy in life and like experiencing life, because I don't think I really do that as like a person prone to like worrying and like trying to control everything. So I'm just trying to like go with the flow more with things like that. So when you're planning on doing big things every other week, sometimes those don't love each other. So that's one way I can maintain the every other week schedule, because I will be doing the moon things pretty decent with being within 3 days. so far. Sorry, reading. Okay. So those are the main things. And if you have like questions for me, of course, like ask them. I will probably answer. Like probably not right away. My current real life job is very draining. So like some days I'm just exhausted. And it is what it is. That's why like a lot of my stuff is like, we'll get like my website's very range. I also have like new things I want to post there. I have like a ton of stuff. I have so many plans and so little time. Isn't that the case though for everyone, everything? I shared the creation of this on like my reader crafter Instagram, but I have been making like, these are poster boards, working on making backgrounds for my readings and pictures of cards and stuff, and like probably like my tarot collection will be on one of those. Like I will use that as a backdrop because I was using Canva and I like don't know what's AI anymore on there. And so like as someone who likes to create little things and just like really enjoys that as a hobby, like I don't know, I don't want to be supporting the computers doing it when I could, one, do it myself and know, or in some lovely future hire someone to do it. So that's a fun thing that I'm doing on the side. And then the other thing that I'm really excited about, because I'm just really loving it, is I started a book club on Substack. Don't know if I love like how Substack is for it. I might just like have a free Patreon for it. Let me know if that makes more sense for people, if you want or care about it. I've had some interest in it, but like not too much interaction, but that's fine. Totally fine. So I'm just gonna like, if you care, blab about this lovely book for like a few minutes. So I made like a syllabus that is super tentative. I have personally read up to page 54. I'm literally like did not prep this whatsoever. So this is going to be a little slow and very human and real. So I'm like just started reading part 2. So I finished part 1 and I'm like kind of going through it. That didn't sound like real English. English, my only language, still not great at it. So I'm going through it, what I've already read a second time, and kind of looking at my highlights, any notes on the side, and kind of making like questions, because my goal was to make like cutesy little worksheets that like you could pay like $1 or $2 to get through Substack. Obviously I'm not paced correctly with it, so like that's not gonna have that paywall anymore, but like in the future that was like my idea, to just like give some energy exchange for this extra work. Also, all of the majority of what would be included would be like available for free, and it would just be like paying for the cutesy, or if you wanted to support in that way, but like you would have it for free kind of a thing, and I would just be like, this extra effort I put into making it super cute and printable, if you wanted, you could pay for. I don't know, that was how it made sense in my head. If that's shitty, whatever, don't pay for it. But I'm being really shitty and not getting to it, so obviously I wouldn't make people pay for something I promised that I didn't deliver in time. I don't know how to upload PDFs also to Substack, so that's a whole extra, but the technology is so weird, and so like there's so much we can do at our fingertips, and then other things are just so annoying. Anyway, this book is giving me so much that I want to reflect on, and that's kind of like part of like the worksheet thought process, was like, oh, this is like giving me a lot of things to like sit down and think about, like particularly the conversation of predictive versus more psychologically based readings. There's like terminology in here that's very cute and I like it, but I am at a loss for what it is at the top of my head. I have it written down somewhere, but I'm just gonna flip like 3 pages and see if it pops up at me. No. All right, cool. So there's like that whole conversation, like, do you read predictively, or is it more like a psychological experience? And I don't know. I don't have the answer for how I read because it kind of just like happens. And I just kind of go with whatever's happening with the cards, which is also like very on brand if you've ever heard me talk about how like spreads kind of block what's going on. Like I see their value, have used them, super cute, but like on the regular, not my go-to. Like they kind of like create blocks in the flow of what I'm reading, and that is not apparently the norm, but that's okay. That's why so many people can do this, and it's wonderful. It's because everyone does it a little differently. So this book is definitely bringing up a lot of questions, and that's like one of the big ones that I really want to sit and reflect on a bit more, and then like maybe write about it, because I find I express myself more eloquently in written word than I do verbally, because my brain is just like constantly going, constantly restarting, and I just like lose track of a thought, so it doesn't come out as nice as I would like. But I'm totally going to probably cross, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'll probably have like a video that explains ideas that I write about too, but like again, I would probably say the written one is more cute, whereas like I'm a blabber, I'm gonna like say like a ton, I'm gonna it just is what it is. So if you're okay with that, welcome. So glad you are here. I'm probably going to talk more about this book. I really want to go through part 1 again, and maybe I'll share my thoughts here on that as well. I've been trying to do like little chat threads in Substack about each chapter and like kind of put my thoughts in. I'm a little behind because I think technically we should be on chapter 3. I don't know. This week made me so tired. So I don't know I have to like check everything that I need to do. And this was one of my top things to do. So I didn't check anything else that I needed to do today, because I was like, I'm going to force myself to sit down and take a video of my face, because this feels very strange still. And it's weird to be like looking at my face, talking to myself. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my face and knowing what is going on behind these hand videos. And yeah, I also plan to do favorite videos. It's kind of a weird thing to think about, because I would like to be like, boom, this is what I'm talking about, but I don't know how to edit. So I have some ideas to how to get around that curve. I feel like I didn't blend my bronzer right. Whatever. Anyway, so I have an idea for how to get around that, and I have like a post-it list of all the things I really love in June, because that's also another thing. Like if I'm not currently in the moment of like, oh, this is awesome, I write it down, that idea is gone. It's just gone. Whatever. So yeah, those are my plans. Hope you like it here. Hope you're interested in staying. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm hoping to do some like VRs and stuff, and like show cards and talk about how I do use the cards, because I was influenced by a lot of people on here. I also am going to, this may turn some people off, so I do want to mention it now. I am on this very strange journey of rereading the Bible, which is like the most terrifying thing you can say, I feel like, on the tarot internet, but it just is what it is. And I am going to give my history, and I'm going to tell you what kind of prompted this, and then what my plans are. I was educated as a Catholic, a Roman Catholic of Irish descent, from people who are born and raised in Ireland, which I feel like is important to that information. And I literally went to a public school kindergarten, and every educational institution I attended after that was some version of Catholic. And so I've had religion as part of my education my entire, including college life, grad school as well, but we didn't have to take a religious course in grad school. So that's me. Very contentious relationship, personally, because it didn't fit my worldview. I would say I'm kind of animistic. And I'm trying to think of what to say next. So yeah. So, and like, I feel like my journey with this topic has been very highly reflected in how I view the Hierophant card. Because like when I was first starting tarot, pull that card, I'm like, ick, ew, gross, oh my god, ugh. Like institutional religion, no thank you. And now I see it as like that is a teacher who has learned all the things about something and is sharing that knowledge, because that's really what that's like a good version of your Hierophant. And I kind of wrote about that somewhere, and so that's kind of like my relationship with Christianity, but like specifically Catholicism, because I don't really know the differences. And I only recently found out that that's actually like the weird version of the Christian world, which is fascinating because I do think it's kind of witchy. I feel like it's the witchiest of the Jesus cult. Anyway, I do not follow the institutions. I think they were highly Machiavellized. Like, the end justifies the means. You're using religion to like guide the people to what you want, and so you're kind of like bastardizing the religion in a sense to make it work for you. And I think that happened to a lot. Shocking to no one. Anyway, so I read Megan Waterson's Mary Magdalene book, the Revealed one. I don't know the exact title. I have it somewhere. And fascinating. Love it. Love her like ideas about like what Jesus's message was. I felt that was very much more valid and not what was taught. And so I bought a copy of her Bible because like she quotes it, and then she quotes I think Thomas and Philip. I could be wrong. And so I got their Bibles, and I was just like collecting all these non-canonical texts because I was like, oh, I want to know, because I've like learned about this my whole life. Now I want to know what wasn't included, and I want to know why, because I was like, oh, I really like this part that wasn't included. And then I was like, how can I dive deep into this side quest if I've never read the book cover to cover? And like, I know the stories, I know a lot of the information, but I've never like just read the whole thing. So I was like, I want to do that. Also, like, as a voracious reader, I just want to be able to say I did it, because like, I don't know, I'm obnoxious like that. So that is why I started it. And then different people, literally so many people I mentioned, like, oh, this is really weird, but like I have this goal that I want to read the whole Bible. I'm currently stuck in Genesis because it's so boring, and everybody, like, I'm sick of hearing about whose kid is whose kid, and like I can't pronounce any of your children's names. Oh my gosh. So I haven't touched it in a while. But like so many people, I'm just like, oh, this is really weird. And they'll be like, oh, I'm actually doing it, and I'm using all of these resources, like YouTube people, like Lisa Papez is. And I've side quested really hard with her stuff. So like I have a lot of books that are supposed to be like good supplementary material. So I'm reading one that's written by I think a pastor, and like it's very aligned to what I left reading Mary Magdalene's Bible with, like that, the concepts of it. And like, I think Jesus is a pretty cool person. Like, his teachings are pretty cool. I don't think people really uphold them that say they like him very well. Like, but like, you know, that's their journey, not mine. And so that is a weird side quest that I'm on. And I just want to let people that are new here, if you want to leave, because one, a lot of people find that triggering. And two, a lot of people are like, oh my goodness, tarot people are all running to Jesus. And like, that's not what's happening here. I'm just like kind of being a thorough researcher. Like, I really want to read the non-canonical stuff, and to do that, I would like to read the original source material, because like it's been so long that like I'm like a sleeper cell, where if you ask me a question about Catholicism, I might just like start like word vomiting what I was taught, which is very creepy and a surreal experience as a human, but whatever. So it was like, I kind of want to get like the basic of the big book before I start going to the other books, because like what is different? Like, I don't really know if I would know because it's been so long and I've never actually read the whole big book. So that's what's happening over here. If you care about it, I will share here and there, but like I will obviously like warn you before, like how I did here. Like, I'm gonna talk about the Bible, so like you're gonna get that first, because I get it, like it's weird. The Machiavelliization, I don't think that's a word, but in my head that's how I view it. Also, Lisa Pepez, like again, I'm going to credit people, and it seems like I'm fangirling, and it's a little bit that, and it's a little bit just credit. And so one of the books, Bibles she's using is a cultural historical one, and so I got that on like Book Outlet. Bibles are so expensive. Wild. So I got it for like a decent Bible price. And it includes like, I minored in anthropology in college. My major was philosophy, so you might notice as I'm talking about stuff like where my nerdy niches lie. And so like cultural influences and how different cultures like do things fascinates me. It might, like, I feel like first off, my midheaven is Sagittarius. Second, I tell people, like, sometimes I, like, would make a joke that, like, oh, like, I'm actually from the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, because I was born and raised in this United States, and my family is all from Ireland, so, like, I'm very much a child, like, first generation, whatever. And so it's like, and then like when I learned about Atlantis, I was like, oh, obviously that's where I'm from. Duh. But I'm a Pisces, so like, of course I'm gonna like, I have to read books on Atlantis before I really like hone in and really own that. But that's my joke. It's not a good one. I love bad jokes. Run away if you don't. What was I talking about? Yeah. So I think that also had an impact on why I'm fascinated with cultures and how they're different. And also I grew up in a very Italian neighborhood. So like, again, being immersed in a culture that's different from, so like I was living with people who are from a culture that was different from the world I was living in. And then I was in a community that had people that had a slightly different version of that. So it's just like fascinating. So like I've always been very interested in different cultures. So like the Bible and then having the cultural significance of what's being written to the time it was written is just like, how did I not know this was a thing? But like, why would I know it was a thing? I had no interest in this field of, because I feel like spirituality and religion are just such different things now, because religion lacks spirituality in a lot. Not for everyone, like everyone experiences differently, but for me it became very dogmatic and very like rigid, where I feel like spirituality like should have more flow. And I think you can develop that in any of the religions, like, but it's your, like, I think it's a very personal thing that you have to develop. Like, I don't think there's any institution that really allows for that, which I think is what is missing and what is possibly destroying society. Who knows? That's a very wild accusation. I just be talking stuff, so like whatever. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this rambliness that got super rambly at the end. Welcome to Boards of Valor. I'm happy you're here. Bye.